All right, guys, about to go on a late night drive in the McCleasy, but I thought I'd tell you guys how you can get rich simply by changing your thoughts. Now, what I'm about to tell you guys, you might think is airy-fairy, you might think it's BS, you might think it's not true, that you can alter reality with your thoughts, but I'm gonna tell you that it is 100% true. Actually, let's take this elevator so we don't have anybody interrupting. But basically, guys, if you've ever read The Law of Attraction, the book is called The Secret or As a Man Thinketh. I mention these two books all the time on this channel. You know how the cycle goes is that your thoughts lead to your actions, which lead to your circumstances, and then this repeats. So first, it starts with your circumstances, how your real life is now, how your reality is. This impacts your thoughts, which lead to your actions, which then lead to your circumstances, and then obviously it loops. So if you want to change anything in your life, you need to first change your thoughts. That is what it all stems from. Once you change your thoughts, it will impact your actions and then impact your reality or your circumstances. So one of the biggest reasons you're not rich right now, you're not at the place you want to be, is because you're not acting like the person who you want to become, and you're not thinking like the person of who you want to become. If you don't believe something's possible, if you're not thinking thoughts of the person you want to become, thinking that you're already rich, that you're already strong, that you're already the person you're trying to become, then you're simply never going to be there. You need to act as the person. You can't just think about the desire. Now, I know it's kind of hard to wrap your head around, but think about it in your day-to-day life. All right, now you obviously can't go buy a Ferrari like you would if you were the person you wanted to be and you had $10 million in the bank, but you can start taking action like the person you want to become. Think about your ideal person, what you're striving for, how efficient are they, how productive are they, what do they think about, how do they spend their money, how do they spend their time. You need to start moving on that frequency, and then reality will catch up and you will become that person. When I was in high school, broke, first starting out my business, I knew I was going to be this type of person. I knew I was going to have cars like this. I can show the McLaren we're about to get into. I didn't have it yet. Even though I couldn't have it in reality, I could literally see it. And if you have belief in yourself, there's nothing fake about belief. Okay, pause that. Apparently my videographer's breaking into the McCleasy. All right, guys, as I was saying, there is nothing fake about belief. If you believe in yourself, if you believe you can do something, that is reality as soon as you start acting on it. Because think about it. If you start acting based on a thought in the real material world, then it becomes real. Even if you're just thinking about something positive, if you're feeling rich, if you're feeling strong, if you're feeling like the person you want to become, you are putting those vibrations out into the universe and you will eventually become them. Now, where most people go wrong with this is instead of acting like the person they are trying to become, they act as the person they are now, and they only think about that as a long goal, as something they can't get to in a realistic time frame. You need to act as that person now. But the first step, which is where most people fail, if you're watching this channel, I hope you're already past this, is believing in yourself. If you don't believe you can do something, you're not going to change your thoughts, because you can't fake this. You can't actually fake feeling like the person you want to become. You can't trick the universe. You can't trick God. So if you want to actually believe in yourself, the easiest way to do that is to start stacking daily wins. Start taking action. And don't worry about the results. Worry about the input you're putting in. And once you do that as a man, you're going to feel productive. If you wake up early, if you go to the gym, if you get your work done, if you don't waste time, if you read a book, if you do stuff productive all throughout the day, constantly take action, you're going to go to bed at night and feel like, damn, I'm the man. I'm proud of myself. I just got everything done that I said I was going to get done. And as you do that, you start to build confidence within yourself. You're going to start to believe in yourself, and this is where it'll impact your thoughts, like I said at the start of the video, which will impact your reality eventually, and then you will become the person you want to become. So if you're at ground zero, if you don't believe in yourself, start taking action on the things you know you need to do. Stop procrastinating. Start stacking wins. It's going to build your confidence. It's going to build your thoughts up, which is going to raise your vibration. It's going to impact your actions, and it's going to impact your reality. So I know it's really hard to articulate this stuff, guys. It might have sounded a little bit confusing about what I was talking about, but you need to really believe that your thoughts can strictly change your whole reality. Just based on your thoughts, you can change every single thing about yourself. Every single successful person I know, and every single successful person ever, didn't do it on accident. They knew they were going to be successful. Yes, you can eliminate lottery winners or whatever, but people who actually built their own business, who actually did something for themselves and eventually got to the top of whatever, you know, niche they were in. They believed in themselves and they saw it before it was actually true. You need to see a vision so vividly that you can basically feel it and taste it with your senses. Now, if you're not being that detailed with your thoughts, this won't work. You need to really know what your dream life looks like. If you follow me on Instagram, I just posted a reel a few days ago and I said, how are you going to be able to get to a destination if you don't even know the map to it? If you don't even know where you're going? You need to know what your dream life is. You need to envision it super, super clearly. You need to spec out your dream car. You need to spec out the mansion you're going to live in. You need to know what your ideal girlfriend or wife is going to look like. And once you know what you're striving for, you can start step one, which is to build your confidence, fix your thoughts, only think about you acting as that person that lives that dream life of yours, and then it will impact your actions and impact your reality. So if you found this video helpful, guys, I post content daily on here on business, lifestyle, everything I've learned from going from zero to a multi-millionaire as a 19-year-old entrepreneur in Miami, Florida. I'm just trying to educate you guys on every single thing I've learned. So if you found this video helpful, please subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.